If you have been wanting to get your health better, if you have been wanting to fix your nutrition, to tackle your mindset, and someone's showing up in front of your face and you are rejecting them and you are saying, no, I don't need that, then what you are doing is you are shutting the door on your own growth. Many of you listen to this podcast, and honestly, when I hear that it's helpful, I hear that this has helped you impact your life, I'm super grateful. I honestly sometimes think that no one listens to it. That's actually the truth. I think that many people will put out episodes or they'll put out content hoping that someone's listening to it. And I don't think I'm any different. I honestly think that sometimes I'm like, I'm hoping that someone's listening to this. And so if you are someone that does follow this podcast, maybe you listen to my stuff, I really hope that you have, one, subscribed to the channel wherever you're listening to this, and two, that you're maybe sharing it with someone. Because the best thing that you can do is inspire someone to maybe make a change in their life. Maybe they're stuck, maybe they're struggling with something, maybe they just need a voice of reason or some motivation or some inspiration, whatever it is. If you can honestly just take an episode that really resonated with you, copy that link and send it to someone, I would be extremely grateful. The reason why I want to ask that is because I think what we do is we go on our own journey and we don't realize that we can really impact and help others on their journey, because most of the time people don't know. They truly just don't know. They don't know that they could do something about the situation. They don't realize that their state of being is dictated by their circumstances, and it shouldn't be like that. Your circumstances should be dictated by your state of being. And what I mean by that is if you are someone that is strong internally, you have a good belief system, you have some confidence, you have some goals, you're driven, you're motivated, you're focused, you're disciplined. All of these components, if you hold those traits, if you hold those values, don't you think your circumstances will be then dictated by that? Because it will show up. It'll show up in your day-to-day. It'll show up in the decisions, the choices, in the people around you, in the opportunities that present themselves. And I know it doesn't feel like much. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you just try to be a bit more positive and you try to be a bit more disciplined, that everything will just work out. It doesn't work just like that. It requires time. And that's where most people struggle with consistency, or they want the results so quickly that, they think that if I've done it for a week, aren't I a consistent person? If I've done it for a month, aren't I a consistent person? Or even a few months, half a year, maybe even 1 year. I can tell you right now, it takes a lot longer than that. All right. Your journey is probably going to change direction multiple times. And the best thing that you can do is evolve yourself as you are changing direction. You're probably still heading for something, but as you near closer to it, you're going to head somewhere else. And if you're someone that wants to change your body, your direction that you go is going to shift and change. Most people that I work with did something before they came to me. They started on a diet. They started on a trend. They started with a different coach or a different program. They are somewhat seasoned. And they get to me and there's always a missing element. I can't tell you how many people have come to me saying that they've done multiple programs, multiple diets, multiple experiences, but never have they actually truly dealt with the psychology behind the physiology that they're trying to change. And if you don't deal with what's going on in your mental state, if you do not try to grow your mentality, you will be a subject and a victim to the outcome that you are chasing for your physicality. And you can't do that. This is why people get a little uncomfortable when they feel like maybe they're a little vain because they're chasing a six-pack. But you're not chasing a six-pack. Let's be real. You're really not chasing the six-pack. You're chasing the discipline that it requires to get it. You're chasing the consistency that you really need to have in order for you to get it. You're chasing the focus. You're chasing so much more than just the six-pack. But you're not diving into your reason. You're not diving into your why. And if you don't dive into your why, if you don't anchor and get a hold of why you're doing this, then you'll always fall short. And you'll always change directions a little too often. and then cut it short and then change directions again, and more of that will come up in your life. So whatever you're trying to avoid, you're going to attract more of it. If you want a quick fix, more quick fixes will come up in your life. If you want something that is sustainable, you're not going to look for the shortcuts. And I do see a lot of people looking for shortcuts, and I want to encourage you that that is not the way that you can actually change your life or change your body, change your relationships, change anything. Think about it. Anything that's short term doesn't last. Anything that's long term requires dedication. So if you want it, you can have it. It's at your fingertips. You can have it in your hand, but you have to be willing and patient enough to see it through. So be patient enough. See it through. It's coming, right? It's on its way. Everything is on the way, not in the way. So stop telling yourself that you're facing all these obstacles. Stop telling yourself that you can't do it. Stop telling yourself you're scared or that you can't wait, because you're lying to yourself. You are just not having the right perspective that it requires for you to actually get the result. So grow your mindset in multiple different ways. And what I mean by growing your mindset is look at many different ways of living, right? Look at every avenue of life even. Look at the spirituality. Look at your job and your career path. Look at your personality. Look at your relationships. Look at multiple different areas of your life and ask yourself, what exactly do I need to do in order to grow that area? And if you can actually look at different areas and ask yourself really hard, like hard-hitting questions, you can land somewhere better. But people aren't willing to ask questions. And so what I'm going to do today in particular is I'm going to encourage you to start asking questions. Ask yourself multiple questions a day. Questions that get you thinking. Questions that guide you. Questions that have some answers attached to them that maybe you like, maybe you don't like. Doesn't matter. You can ask yourself, did I show up today as the best version of myself? If the answer is no, ask yourself, how come? What do I feel like got in the way of that? Ask yourself, did I achieve something a little bit better than yesterday? What was it? Why did it feel good? Why did it not feel good? How could I have done it differently? Ask yourself these questions. Because at the end of the day, the quality of your life is dictated on the quality of the questions you ask. If you don't ask questions, you don't know. And then you think you're arrogant, you think you're egotistic, because you are. You're just ignoring information. You're not even searching for it. The people who honestly, they live it, they breathe it, they are it, they're asking questions. They realize that they do not have the answers. I'll have many people go, I know a lot about nutrition. I've been doing this for a long time. And I'll ask them, well, how long have you been doing it for? And they'll say, I've been doing it for a few years, at least 5 years. Okay, great. Where are your results then? That's the question that I ask them. Where are your results if you know everything about it? Because I can show you mine. I can tell you mine. I can really kind of break it down for you if you really want. Every single ounce and every single element and every single piece of dedication that I've given myself and provided every single day that I've done this. So if you don't ask the questions, then you're always going to be thinking, what's the answer here? What's this meant to look like? How's it meant to be? And so you're going to get caught up in the story. And the story that you tell yourself is the one that you've been telling yourself forever. You're saying the same thing over and over in circles. And that is really what keeps people stuck. What keeps people stuck is the story they tell themselves because they keep saying why they can't, why they won't, how they just can't make it work. And in reality, they're all excuses. And then you justify your excuses with some bullshit story that you tell yourself knowing deep down that that's not the truth. Because the truth is a little bit more hard-hitting than that. The truth is something many people don't want to face because it means that they would have to be authentic. And to be authentic, you would have to be vulnerable. And to be vulnerable, you see it as a weakness. And to have a weakness means that you could just be honestly a pushover. Anyone could just take advantage of you. Not realizing that vulnerability is a superpower. Not realizing that if you don't know, that actually makes you smarter because you're willing to know and you're willing to find out. Right? So stop looking at all of these people out there that maybe are putting on some bullshit facade or this persona that they're showcasing as if they know it all, they got it all, they have it all. Rarely is that the case. Ask the questions. Face the questions. Ask yourself the questions, ask other people the questions. Just question as much as you possibly can, and I guarantee you the answer will come up. When the answer comes up, do not ignore it. Do not go and turn away from it. If you have been wanting to get your health better, if you have been wanting to fix your nutrition, to tackle your mindset, and someone's showing up in front of your face and you are rejecting them and you are saying, no, I don't need that, then what you are doing is you are shutting the door on your own growth. And that is what's keeping you stuck, because you are rejecting the person, you are rejecting the place, you are rejecting the opportunity to help you because you think that you know it all. And the know-it-all gets nowhere. So I'm encouraging you right now that if something is showing up for you, listen to it. Be open to it. Change your idea, change your focus, change the way that you perceive it, because it's clearly there for a reason. And so if this has been helpful for you guys, I want you to honestly go and take an action towards it. I don't care if it means you got to go and make that call that you haven't made. You got to go to that place that you haven't been yet. If you've been thinking about something and it keeps showing up for you, there is a reason for it. And there is a reason why you are not doing anything about it. Avoidance does nothing. And we live in a society that loves to avoid, loves to suppress, loves to run away when things get hard. So if you're going to do something different, maybe do something a little harder for you today. Because when you make a hard choice, it'll lead to an easy life. If you make easy choices, it'll lead to a hard life. And it really just comes down to, what do you want to choose? The beauty is that you have the option. And some people don't take the option that leads to the better life. Most people, in fact, do that. So I hope that this is helpful for you guys. Again, if you don't subscribe to this, please subscribe to it. Please share it with someone that you feel like can actually benefit from it. It would help me, it would help you, and it would help them. Remember, guys, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So make a move, take action, because you're one decision away from a completely different life.